This is a treat today. You will enjoy this. Something a little, well, majorly different. So this time, instead of actually playing the game, I'm going to show you something rather lovely. And my choice for this is because in a few hours, I believe, the new patch should be up and running. And that comes with risks of my save not working properly. So if I was to play the game and get somewhere and record it and everything else, I do not want to get shafted the day after when I try and record again, because the game doesn't work on the current save, and then I get rather angry. So I'm going to treat you with something that I said I was going to show you in the last episode instead. So let's have a look. So in the last episode, you know, I said I was going to, well, I went to Bovington, where there is probably the largest collection of tanks in the world. Yes, I went there, and these are the images which I collected. So this would be a World War I era Mark IV tank, I think. I can't quite remember. But yes, that took a good doing getting up there. This was a mock trench, which they did. It was a whole setup. This one, as you can see, my camera's not too bad. This is a Mark IV, and it is a... Oh, hang on. Am I resuming? I should be recording. We'll figure it out. Let's presume everything was recorded then. But yes, this is a Mark IV tank. You could go inside a few of these. There was a video, but our kid's in it, so I'm not going to share that on the internet. Really? That's probably not the best idea. But yes, this is how it was. They have the 6-pounders on there and the big tuft of straw stuff. Now, apparently they hired, according to this, a lot of Chinese or immigrants or wherever. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily immigrants. I mean, we had bits of the empire. It was in China. We had Hong Kong as part of Britain at one point. But it did say on there, I think it was a lot of Chinese who were experts at whittling with this material, and they stuck it all together. And it was mad, and they did loads and loads and loads of them, and that was to throw in front of the tank. I mean, I'd rather not. I mean, I think there was a pulley thing at the back. They grabbed it, pulled it, that fell forward, filled in a trench, and the tank would go over. That was the idea. There's another angle. Nice. I do think this is one of the originals. There is a couple of replicas that were used in films and things, but I think they're a little bit later on. And another angle. I think this is a... Yes, it is. This is a different one. This has the iron bar thing that we have seen on the game, which is wonderful. And all of this and that, which is the command... I'm going to call it a command hatch. Is that what they called it? And it's got some of the flappy paddles for signalling at the back. Down there, that was a machine gun ball, I think. I think that's the improved male turret. I can't quite remember. But again, here we go. There's another one. Mark V male. A brilliant new engine. One that worked. Gee, my camera's not bad, eh? If I had my old phone, it would have been even better. But yes, more machine guns and everything else. You can't quite see properly inside that tank, but everything was there. These aren't running, by the way, but everything is thoroughly preserved. This is a Mark IX, the first armoured personnel carrier. Yes, I got there and was surprised. I did not think that that existed. But yes, no, they built a couple of prototypes, and it didn't get much further than that, unfortunately, but you can see where things were leading to, and, you know, we've got millions of the damn things now. But no, that's cool. So as you can see, it's basically a Mark IV, but a little bit different. I think you could have had, what did it say, a platoon of men in there. Maybe not a platoon. Can't quite remember. It wasn't too many, but it was more than what you'd think. This one, the Mark V female, a stretched tank. Little bit of an image there. So the tracks were different on this. It's a bit difficult to see from the photo on the actual tank itself. But yes, wonderful. And you can actually see top speed, nothing. And oh, there's another diagram down at the bottom of the picture. There we go. The engine, a big improvement on this part, and on the video itself, when I walked through a couple of these, wow, is it cramped! I know people in general were smaller in size back then, but flipping heck. And then you've got 10 or so crew in there. Nah. And here we go. This is, it looks like the Liberty tank. Also featured in our game. It has the central top doodah on it with loads of machine guns in it, and the very top bit on it as well, the 6-pounder gun. That is one of the engines. That was the V12, I think it was. We researched that in our playthrough. That's one so you could just have a bit of a look at it, and this is one of the ones where it was different compartments for a change, which was good. There's another view of it. There we go. The Mark 8 International tank. 5.2 miles an hour. Yeah, the Ricardo or Liberty, 300 horsepower petrol, and it weighed 37 tons. 7 Hotchkiss 303 machine guns, 200 gallons, and it's just mad. And service dates from 1918, I think that says, to 1930. Can't quite make a lot of that out. But yes, no, madness. And that was pretty much stuck together just after World War I, where everyone was then bankrupt pretty much, and they thought, yeah, now we better not do a load of these. Hello, valued viewers. Sorry for the interruption, but if you could just spend that 2 seconds to click that like button somewhere down at the bottom, that will go a long way to helping me out. Thank you. Here is a model. I thought this was particularly cool. Not bad, eh? Nice and shiny. I like that. But yeah, no, it's good. That is Big Brute. Can't quite remember the story behind this one, but not bad at all. That might be the same one that we seen earlier, I'm not too sure. It's obviously been filled in slightly for whatever reason, but not bad. Another example. And here, oh yes, here, this is the stuff that we're gonna be starting to make. Now this one, I can't remember what it was called, but I believe that this was designed just after World War I, because they thought it was going to be, well, like this really. They took bits of French with the turrets and everything else. There was a problem with this turret because it could only be angled down at certain points, and it was a right mess. But now their thinking was just more machine guns, but the problem was also is that there was more machine guns, more protection, yes, but there's still the same amount of machine guns, so it didn't actually have any more firepower despite everything else going in there. The Tank Museum does have a YouTube channel itself. On that, I do like it. It is very good to have a gander. Here we go. What is this? The Light Tank Mark IIA. So we're going to be doing this probably in our run through. Crew of 2, it went 30 miles an hour, and it didn't weigh very much at all. And it had 1 machine gun. In a turret? Yes, nice. So I will look forward to that. For those who want to read that. Oh, there we go. This was some kind of armoured car. Machine gun mounts and everything else. Not quite sure, I can't quite see, but another lovely example. I think we have the rules. Yes, the Rolls-Royce armoured car. Plenty of these were made. That's a dandy good picture, is that? Yeah, there you go. Lots of them done. A little bit of history, if you could read that. And I was surprised at just how bonny it was when you got right up to it. It was really cool. And now we're going into some World War II stuff, sort of. The Comet. Can't quite see that. But now, really good. That's a fine example of that. One of the Matildas. I think there was several, but this is a Matilda 1. And I was surprised at just how... I mean, the armour on this thing was thick. But it wasn't... I don't know, when looking at it, it just didn't seem that big, and I thought, where's everything else? It was madness, but the British were going more for infantry support tanks more than anything, but these could take an absolute pounding. The biggest weakness, you could say, would be the tracks. They were all exposed. Here's another Comet. With the same one. There we go. A Guy armoured car. Can't quite remember what that one was all about, but it looks a bit Tetriarchy, doesn't it? And here we go. This one was a Samoa S35. Wasn't that the S35 French? Can't quite remember now. But yeah, no. Lovely. What was that? I don't know. I'm probably talking at my ass now. It is getting late. It's 10 o'clock, man. Leave me alone. Here we go. A Panzer I command tank. A pre-war exercise. So the Germans did have to build everything in secret. I think they disguised them all as tractors or something and went nuts. But yes, this is the kind of stuff that they used to train themselves in armoured warfare before things went nuts. M24-41, this is Italian? Yes, Italy. Flippin' heck, I got one right. Here's another one, the A9 Cruiser. This looks a bit interwar-ish as well. We've got several turrets. Just a little bit a little bit different than the usuals. Can't quite remember what that one is. If you're, oh, it's there. A10 Cruiser. Oh, it's the upgrade. That's it. The M3A1 Stuart. Nice. These got hammered, didn't they, in the war? Madness. Number built. Look at that. 14,000 of the damn bloody things. It's ridiculous. Here we go. Look. Manchester. Lovely. The Valentine 2. Personally, I've played a little bit of War Thunder, but this was one of my favourites, even though it was incredibly sluggish. I thought this was going to be a little bit bigger as well. But no. When just... You'll see why later on, when we start looking at some of the monstrosities which are floating around. It is ridiculous. We'll get to them. But yeah, now, I like this example. That, not gonna lie, made me laugh a little bit. This is the Carol L3 Italian. I had a machine gun, and it's just... Well, shit. It's oh, yeah. Madness. Funny. That, honestly, made me laugh. A Dingo Scout Car. Churchill 2. Personally, I'm a fan of these. Even though the turrets weren't necessarily fantastic. I don't know what it is. I've always liked them. That variant, the Ost-N, some of it's missing. This one was under restoration, but it's got the short barrel support gun. Nice. Oh, there we go. Tunisia campaign, so this was in Africa. The M3 Grant, the... Ooh, where's it gone? There it is. The fill-in tank. That, I think, was a 75mm thing, and I don't know. I've never liked this one, it's just ugly. That was... And, oh, yeah, and honestly, standing up against that, it was so bloody tall. So tall. It was ridiculous. Now we have the Crusader. And this was the Crusader 3 with the bigger gun. These are like... Now, it says on here that 5,300 were built, but I think that was the Crusader with the other variant as well, because I'm sure there weren't that many built with the 6-pounder gun, but I could be wrong. Conflicting facts from previous. Ooh, hey, oh, there we go. Tetrarch, that's how I've always said that. It's probably disgustingly said wrong. But no. Nice. These are... Where's it gone? Down here somewhere. Yes, light tank. I'm trying to find a date. I think these were not far from the beginning. And there's the Japanese tank. I was surprised that that was there. My impression of it, you just... When you were walking around and you got a sense of all the other ones, you could just tell that it wasn't up for it. It wasn't going to be up for it. Not against other tanks, anyway. The Universal Carrier. These got hammered. These were good. I thought it would be a little bit bigger, though. So, I think there's room for a few people. I didn't get a very good angle of it from the top, I suppose, but... It's like, it's basically an armoured pickup, almost, on tracks, and I thought it was going to be bigger than that. I don't know why. Don't know why. And I didn't know these existed. Churchill Avier. Big fat cannon on the Churchill. It's essentially what the Germans did. A support gun on the tank. 754. I'd love to know a bit of history as to... You know, just how good they were or whatever. That would be good to know. And now we're starting to get into some of the German-era tanks. The Panzer II, pretty much the mainstay at the beginning of the war. They had lots of these, not many 3s and 4s. And that jumps up a bit. Now, I cannot express enough how bloody massive that thing is. That, from there to there, the track, the width was about 1.5 feet. It is ridiculous. Honestly, it's daunting. The picture does not give it to scale. All of this stuff was intentional. That's how it was when it was built. Can't quite remember where this one got grabbed. It says there, look, this tag was built in 1944. It broke down, yeah, and they nicked it. There we go. Which is typical. They had mechanical issues, fires, gearboxes, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not bloody surprised. The thing is so heavy. So heavy. And that gun, that is the 88mm monster. It's just huge. I was stood underneath it. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Madness. There is... I don't know if I got it in the shot, but there is damage from shells from a Sherman. I think it was on the turret. Maybe not down here. It must have been on the other side, but yeah, it's just gouges of metal, and it must have just bounced off. That's ridiculous. Oh, another angle. There. Bloody enormous. Is it here? Where's it gone? I can't quite seem to see it, but there's a couple of gouges out of it where Shermans were shooting at it. But yeah, no, this thing is just enormous. Enormous. Oh, this is a fun joint. The Goliath wired remote control explosive thing on tanks. If you've ever played Men of War Assault Squad 2, a buddy of mine, Bap, likes to use these to slap a good hole in everything that you could possibly defend with. And, plenty of these were built. It's, yeah, quite cool to have that there. Didn't think they would. And this thing was also bloody enormous. The Jaeger Tiger, the anti-tank version, was it? I can't quite remember. This vehicle was built in 1944 and it was used... that's hard to tell what that says. But no, that, again, madness. There was only 85 built? It's ridiculous. Again, the width of these was around a foot and a half. The damn thing is enormous, a lot higher. And then we have the... oh, what's that? Belgium. Oh, yeah. Going into the American stuff now. Oh, then again. Then we've got a Panzer III. Was that a 4? Oh, I don't know now. I'm too tired for this. But no, that was a very fine example. There was... it said something about the skirting not being on for whatever reason. But no, these tanks... oh yeah, it's got the added plates on as well. These were added as a measure to increase the... well, upgrade the tank, because they were kind of kept getting knocked out after a bit, and that helped. But no, it was really good. I think there's a few pictures of this one. More Shermans. This one must have been a later one. I think the first one had the cast hull, where it was all one shape rather than this weldedness. Oh, a Stug 3. I thought that was going to be bigger. And a little bit lower down. Maybe it's just the perspective of, say, the games that we played with it previously, but no. But that cannon, it's just all about the cannon. It was really good. More Churchill. It's a 4. With the bigger gun in it. Oh, can you see inside a few bits of it? Oh, maybe. Not properly on that one. Another Sherman. Is that the Firefly? Not too sure, but it's got the bigger gun on it. Armory. 2 machine guns. That doesn't quite see on there, does it? But yeah, that's, yeah, much better. And let's see how that's got the cast, some of the cast stuff on it. Oh, that was another beast. The Jaeger Panther. Again, enormous tracks. I mean, I was stood underneath that. It was ridiculous. A T-34-85. They had everything there. And from what the Tank Museum had said, these were just so rough around the edges and everything. It was just a tank like as quickly and as cheaply as you could possibly do a tank. That was it. It was mad. I mean, you can see from what they described, the welding, for example. The welding was so rough around the edges, it just did not matter. Whereas on some of the German stuff, for example, maybe not the... I mean, they're all about bloody, what, 80 years old now. It was so pristine in comparison, it was just madness. But it paid off because they had so bloody many of the damn things. Actually got... I mean, look, 56,000! Or is that 58 now? It's a 6. Madness! For those who want to read it, there you go. Now we're starting to look into more modern tankage. Nice. Again, the size now starts to equal the stuff from the German late war. There we go. Battle of the Bulge. Is that a... oh yeah, the Archer. Chaffee. I don't know that much about this one. I mean, wasn't this just a light tank built later on? USA armor 38mm, 75mm gun. Yeah, well, you can read the information on that one. There you go. This was cool. That was quite nice to see. The weird shape of these makes them... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can see inside of it there, and it's just so cramped. So cramped. It's disgusting. Aha! The bigger stuff now. The British Conqueror. Chieftain. Challenger 1. I could never say that one. Khalid, whatever that is. But yeah, now these started to then represent the size of the later German tanks. Now, there was a thing, I mean, they're just lower down in terms of the turret. I think that's the biggest thing I noticed. The tracks were as wide and everything else. I mean, just a little bit further back. It's just the scale is ridiculous. Tortoise, that thing was... Well, look at it. It just looks so solid. All these smoke grenades everywhere. It's madness. Oh, yes, and one of the latest additions was the TOG 2. Can't quite remember what this is exactly, but it's something that was rather impressive. Oh yeah, and there was a big World of Tanks thing there. Shame I don't like the game. More modern things. Well, more modern, should I say. Scorpion, there we go. I think they're retiring these now, aren't they? T-70... 62? 62? I don't know now. I don't know. There was a couple of funky ones. But no, honestly, it was really good. Oh, there's Lily. It's just part of it. Try not to have other people in there. No, lots of good stuff. Now that is Little Willie. The first tank as such. This is before they stuck weapons in it. People weren't very impressed with it. It kind of did the job of, well, nothing. But you can see how it came. This is obviously World War One. Little Willie was supposed to be the prerequisite to that. This one was the Mach 1, I think. Yes, I think it was. The outside looks like it should, but the inside, it was basically an empty shell with an excavator engine at the back, and it was used in that film. What was it called? It was a tank slowly approaching. I don't think it was All Quiet on the Western Front. I think it was something else, but still impressive. More tankage. I think this was another mock-up one. And now we start getting into the World War One stuff again. This was a lot smaller than what I thought it was going to be, but really cool. So as you know, this is the Renault one. Yeah, you can see what the French were trying to do. I think the tracks look a little bit different on these than what they do in game. I think the perspectives were a little bit off, but yeah, they've still got that flappiness. They just look silky smooth on in game, and I thought, how is that going to work? But yeah, no, it was cool. I liked it. The Whippet tank, bigger than what I thought it was going to be, and I still don't understand where all the people go. I did have, there was a hole at the back, I think it was, and I did stick my head in, and you think, there's no way that that could possibly ever be half, like, doable, surely. Not gonna lie, completely forgot what that one is. That looks like an interwar tank. because the turret, the way that it is, this could be... Yeah, there's got to be an interwar tank. I do believe it. I don't know what it is, though. It was some medium. It could be some Vickers. Could be wrong there. Oh, here we go. That looks like the French tank. It had thick armor and everything else. That fat thing on there. A little bit slow. I forgot the name now. And the Panther. Yes, that was lovely to see. One thing that surprised me is how many of them were running. Now, I'm on about most of the tanks in the thing. You can see the oil dripping because this was the day after Tank Fest, which is where they get all the tanks out and take them for a big spin. And you can see the track marks on the floor, and there was dried mud still in it. It was good. I liked it. More tanks. What is that one now? I don't know. More tanks. Oh, there it is. The Tigger. Very boxy shape. One of the things that let it down, but very iconic. This is Tiger 131, I think it was. Captured the first captured tank of the Tiger by the British, I think it was, and they took it apart and analysed it. Another shot. This runs as well, which is extremely surprising. Panzer III. Again, a runner. Oh, that's a funny angle. Oh yeah, I struggled getting that one. More modern. More modern again. Chieftain. Oh, it says there. Chieftain. There we go. T34. 74. Oh, this is 64. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 62. Yeah, no, close enough. Ooh, British goodness. Another one of them. And that is all I got. I do hope you enjoyed that. I know it isn't the game, but I thought it was... I mean, it's very relevant. I mean, come on. And it's cool. And it's better than getting rather angry at the fact that the game has restarted for me, essentially. Even though I've not got very far, I'd like to be able to carry it on. So that is the choice I've made. I do hope you find that cool and actually watchable. I feel like I did waffle on. It is a bit late now. It's nearly 10:30. But yes, have a good day. I will see you very soon with another episode of Arms Trade Tycoon Tanks, and we shall conquer the world. Any facts and everything that you know about certain tanks, we went through quite a lot of them there, stick it in the comments. People will be wanting to read that. I will be. I do read all of them. I might not necessarily have time to answer all of them, but I do read all the comments. And if you thought that little collection of images was right lovely, then do let me know that in the comments as well. Right lovely. Have a good one. For now. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. Hopefully, if you have, if you can like the video too, that helps as well. A special thank you to all of the members of the channel who get lovely benefits of up to 2 weeks worth of additional content early. Isn't that right lovely? Now the next video, if it's available, will be on the screen right now to the bottom left, and the full playlist to the bottom right. Have a good one.